Chapter 38. Offer your whole heart. Upon the night's crescent moon, the dark tigress spoke. "The next move is up to you," she said. "And what would you like me to do?" "Offer up your whole heart. Awaken the innermost heart of hearts. If you truly wish to devote your life to God, go within and offer up the deepest part," she said. "I wish to serve God, but I'm not sure what you mean. And I also recognize you as a spiritual being of divinity. Yet here I am in this portal. So don't you need me in the world to be in service of humanity? Of course, this portal is rather unknown. And what am I doing here? What do you want from me? And what has this journey been for?" This seemed like a playful ritual when I smiled at the dark tigress. She was always 10 steps ahead, and even the bugs from the marsh were curious as to what would come next. Just as I wondered about backing out of the portal, the dark tigress raised her paw and pressed me forward when she transformed into a dark woman. Her hair appeared like serpents, and in her gaze I was caught. Why, in her presence, I was stuck. "What is going on? Why would you trick me? Oh, Krishna, Krishna, save me!" The woman smiled and spoke. "Freedom from the known," she said. "This isn't freedom. Why have you trapped me here? I no longer wish to partake in this madness. Release me so I can go free and participate back in the world." None of the agonies of suppression, nor the brutal discipline of conforming to a pattern has led to truth. To come upon truth, the mind must be completely free, without a spot of distortion. But let us ask ourselves, if we really want to be free, when we talk of freedom, are we talking of complete freedom, or of freedom from some inconvenient or unpleasant thing? We would like to be free from painful and ugly memories and unhappy experiences, but to keep our pleasure, satisfying ideologies, formulas, and relationships. But to keep the one without the other is impossible, since, as we have seen, pleasure is inseparable from pain. So it is for each of us to decide whether or not we want to become completely free. If we say we do, then we must understand the nature and structure of freedom. Is it freedom when you are free from something, free from pain, free from some kind of anxiety? Or is freedom itself something different entirely? You can be free from jealousy, but isn't that freedom a reaction, and therefore not freedom at all? You can be free from dogma very easily by analyzing it, by kicking it out, but the motive for that freedom from dogma has its own reaction, because the desire to be free from a dogma may be that it is no longer fashionable or convenient. Or you can be free from nationalism because you believe in internationalism, or because you feel it is no longer economically necessary to cling to this silly nationalistic dogma with its flag and all that rubbish. You can easily put that away. Or you may react against some spiritual or political leader who has promised you freedom as a result of discipline or revolt. But has nationalism anything to do with real freedom? If you say you are free from something, it is a reaction, which will then become another reaction, which will bring about another conformity, another form of domination. In this way, you can have a chain of reactions and accept each reaction as freedom, but it is not real freedom. It is merely a continuity of a modified past which the mind clings to. The youth of today, like all youth, are in revolt against society, and that is a good thing in itself. But revolt is not freedom, because when you revolt, it is a reaction, and that reaction sets up its own pattern, and you get caught up in that pattern. You think it is something new, but it is not. It is the old in a different mold. Any social or political revolt will inevitably revert to an old mentality. Freedom comes only when you see and act, never through revolt. The seeing is the acting, and such action is as instantaneous as when you see danger. There is no celebration, no discussion or hesitation. The danger itself compels the act, and therefore to see is to act and to be free. Freedom is a state of mind, not freedom from something, but a sense of freedom to doubt and question everything, and therefore so intense, so active and vigorous that it throws away every form of dependence, slavery, conformity, and acceptance. Such freedom implies being completely alone. But can the mind, brought up in a culture so dependent on environment and its own tendencies, ever find that freedom, which is complete solitude, and in which there is no leadership, no tradition, and no authority? This solitude is an inward state of mind, which is not dependent on any stimulus of any knowledge, and is not the result of any experience or conclusion. Most of us, inwardly, are never alone. Now there is a difference between isolation, which is cutting oneself off, and aloneness, or solitude. We all know what it is to be isolated, which is when you build a wall around oneself in order to never be hurt, never to be vulnerable, or cultivating detachment, which is another form of agony, or living in some dreamy ivory tower of ideology, whereas aloneness is something quite different. You are never alone because you are full of all the memories, all the conditioning, all the mutterings of yesterday. Your mind is never clear of all the rubbish it has accumulated. To be alone, you must die to the past. When you are alone, totally alone, not belonging to any family, any nation, any culture, any particular continent, there is a sense of being an outsider. That man or woman who is completely alone in this way is innocent, and it is this sense of innocence that frees the mind from sorrow. We carry with us the burden of what thousands of people have said and the memories of all our misfortunes. To abandon all of that totally is to be alone, and the mind that is alone is not only innocent but young, not in time or age, but young, innocent, alive at whatever age, and only such a mind can see that which is truth and that which is not measurable by words. In this solitude, you will begin to understand the necessity of living with yourself as you are, not as you think you should be or as you have been. See if you can look at yourself without any tremor, any false modesty, any fear, any justification or condemnation. Just live with yourself as you actually are. It is only when you live with something intimately that you begin to understand it. But the moment you get used to it, you are no longer living with it. If you live by a river, after a few days, you will not hear the sound of the water anymore. Or if you have a picture in your room that you pass by every day, you will forget it after a week. Same with the mountains, the valleys, and the trees. The same with your family, your husband, your wife. But in truth, nothing is ever the same. Every day it is fresh, completely new, and we could become free of our past conditioning within any moment. Imagine if you met an old friend, but instead of confining them by the past, you saw them as a totally brand new version of themselves today. What if you met yourself like that each day? What if you met your partner, your children, your family, and your world as if it was fresh, alive, and new, every day. And what about living with something like jealousy, envy, or anxiety? You must never get used to it, never accept it. You must care for it as though you would care for a newly planted tree and protect it against the sun, against the storm. Oh, you must care for it, not condemn it or justify it. Therefore, when this happens, you begin to love it. When you care for it, you are beginning to love. It is not that you love being envious or anxious, but rather you care to watch over it. So can we live with what we really are, knowing ourselves to be dull, envious, fearful, believing we have tremendous affection when we have not, getting easily hurt, easily flattered, and bored? Can we live with all of that, neither accepting it nor denying it, but observing it without becoming morbid and depressed or elated? Now let us ask ourselves a further question. Is this freedom, this solitude, this coming into contact with the whole structure of what we are in ourselves? And we are to come upon this through time. The question then becomes, is freedom to be achieved through a gradual process? Obviously not, because as soon as you introduce time, you are enslaving yourself more and more. You cannot become free gradually. It is not a matter of time. The next question is, can you become conscious of that freedom? If you say, I am free, then you are not free. It is like saying, I am happy. And the moment someone says, I am happy, they are living in a memory or an idea of something that is gone. Freedom can only come about naturally, not through wishing, wanting, or longing. Nor will you find it by creating an image of what you think it is. To come upon it, the mind has to learn to look at life, which is a vast movement, without the bondage of time. For freedom lies beyond the field of consciousness, she said. But why won't you release me? Why not let me free? I asked her. Let me share a story. Someone just like yourself who swore devotion to God, and this person was a great disciple and demanded to be taught the truth. Such a person was with God when God said, My friend, it is such a hot day. Please get me a glass of water. So the disciple goes out and knocks on the door of the first house he comes to, when a beautiful young lady opens the door. The disciple falls in love with her. They marry and have children. Then one day it begins to rain, and keeps on raining and raining and raining. The rivers swell up, and the streets are filled until the houses are being washed away. The disciple holds on to his wife and carries his children on his shoulders when he calls out to God, Lord, please save my family and me. And then the Lord says, Where is that glass of water I asked for? She said, What are you getting at? Take the question of death, which is an immense problem to most people, yet I know death very well, and there it is walking by your side every day. Is it possible to meet it so completely that you do not make a problem of it at all? In fact, it's the only truth in life, and in order to meet it in such a way, all belief, all hope, and all fear about it must come to an end. To discover that nothing is permanent is of tremendous importance, for only then is the mind free. Then you can look, and in that there can be great joy. Don't be frightened of the unknown, because you do not know what the unknown is, and so there is nothing to be frightened of. Death is a word, and it is the word, the image, that creates fear. So can you look at death without the image of death? Now, if I released you from this portal, you wouldn't be free, because you'd always be afraid of the image of death, and you'd build up a resistance to it, and invent beliefs to protect you against it. But that's the purpose of life, to die to it. If I gave you a choice, to leave and go back into the world, you'd postpone this. You'd avoid it. You'd keep death as far away as possible and say, let's not think of it. But consider this. Isn't it in that which we call living, which has all the misery in it? Life is what includes all the suffering, pain, and so death is the end of the misery. Do you see how we would prefer to cling to the certainty of the known of being in our house, our furniture, our family, our character, our work, our knowledge, our fame, our money, our beliefs. But all of this limits the patterns of embodied existence, where death is actually freedom from it. Isn't it interesting that death is extraordinarily like life when we know how to live? You cannot live without dying. You cannot live if you are not dying psychologically every moment. This is not an intellectual paradox. To live completely, wholly, every day, as if it was a new loveliness, there must be dying to everything of yesterday. Otherwise, you live mechanically, stuck to the past, and the mechanical mind can never know what real love or true freedom is. Most of us are frightened of dying because we don't know what it means to live. The person who lives with beauty and love is not frightened of death because to love is to die. Death brings us to our innocence, our purity, when we let what is gone go. And God does not take anything from you. God makes you lighter. What you call loss is simply the weight of old heaviness falling away. Do not be afraid. God is not leaving you. God is drawing you ever closer, she said. So what is death really? Death is renewal, because where there is death, there is something totally new. Freedom from the known is death, and then you are living, she said. In that moment, even though there was a sort of panic in my lungs, I held that panic and fear with such tenderness until I heard that panic whisper how all it ever sought was a bit of love. Free from the past and free from doubt, I took the mermaid's necklace off from around my head, as this was the most curious cutting blade which I had yet to figure out. With that cutting blade in hand, I sliced my chest wide open as I stood up and offered the dark woman my beating heart. Yes, now you are freed, and don't you see? Within your heart is the essence of divinity, she said. As she reached around my heart, I felt the celestial weapon come loose, and as she touched it, she transformed when I saw a man standing before me. Hare Krishna! It is him, the ever-attractive one whom I adore. But Lord, I don't understand how you transform. God is like current or electricity, as it can be used in countless different ways. You can harness it to power a refrigerator, to freeze or cool food, or you can power an oven and bake fresh bread. This invisible force is ever powerful, and it runs through all things everywhere. It can be harnessed throughout the universe, and it gives rise to all elemental power. God is not one man or woman, but God is that of Krishna, of Kali, within Moses, Muhammad, and Jesus, said Krishna. In that present moment, free from the past and the future, I was ever free, so light, innocent, and youthful within my mentality. Why, I still had this body, and I was curious, because only through death do we discover how our spirit is untouchable. And what will you do with this wonderful life of yours? He asked. I took the cutting tool upon the mermaid's necklace when I carved God's name upon my heart. I live in service to you. I am devoted to keep your name in my heart. And now that the old you is dead, you're free to live, said Krishna. Oh, I had a great idea. Right after that, I decided I needed to get to the store to buy the mermaid a ring. But before that, I ran and found a cup when I filled it up. Then after it was full of water, I brought it back to God to have a drink. Good, my son. Let me lead you back to the mermaid, where you will conceive a family together. Don't forget, the soul is blessed forever, said Krishna.